There are a few things I hear over and over again in the world of social media, and every time I hear one, I want to hit the pause button. Not because they're totally wrong. Most of them have a grain of truth in there somewhere. It's that they've been repeated so many times without any context that they've started stressing business owners out more than they're helping them. On today's episode, I want to walk you through a few of these. The stuff I wish people would stop saying and talk about what I think we should be saying instead. It's showtime. Let's get started. Creating consistent, engaging social media content shouldn't feel like rocket science. I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs go from I don't know what to post to I've got this, using simple, easy to implement steps that make a big difference. I'm Maggie Carey, and welcome to the Painless Posting Podcast. I'll start with the one I probably hear the most, which is that you have to post every single day. I had a client a while back, sweet, hard-working, doing everything right, who was posting daily, absolutely exhausted by it. She came to me convinced that if she missed a day that the algorithm would punish her and she'd lose all of her momentum. So we tried something different. We cut down her to 3 posts a week, but we made sure every single one said something. Know what happened? Her engagement went up, not because she was posting less, but because she wasn't showing up depleted anymore. Consistency is what builds trust with your audience, not frequency. And exhaustion doesn't build anything except resentment towards your own business. Here's what most people think when they hear post every day. They hear it as a rule instead of what it actually is, which is advice for a completely different situation than theirs. If social media starts feeling like a second full-time job, you will quit it. A system that you can actually stick with will actually outperform any schedule you can't. Now, once you've got that part figured out, there's another phrase that makes me laugh every time I hear it. I just have to go viral, as if that's a strategy you can plan for. I had a student with one of my AI workshops ask me, half joking, half serious, so what's the trick with going viral? And I told her the truth. There isn't one. And if there were, virality without the right audience doesn't actually build a business anyway. I'd much rather help someone build steady, reliable visibility with people who actually become clients than chase one lucky moment with a bunch of strangers who scroll past and never think about her again. One real referral from the right person is worth more than 50,000 views from people who are never going to buy anything. So this is where it gets interesting, because the next one ties right into that. AI does everything now. As someone who teaches AI every single week, this one really gets under my skin. AI is incredible. I use it constantly for research, organizing my thoughts, getting a rough draft down fast. But it isn't your marketing strategy, and it definitely isn't your voice. Let's say you're a health and wellness coach, and you type in the exact same prompt as 10 other coaches in your niche. You are all going to get some version of the same answer back. If you post that without adding your own experience, your own client stories, your own way of saying things, you sound like everyone else. And blending in is the opposite of what social media is supposed to do for you. AI should save you time. It was never supposed to replace the thing that actually makes people trust you. Here's another thing I wish people would stop saying about social media that gets repeated constantly. More followers means more success. I've watched businesses with a few hundred followers book out consistently through referrals and word of mouth, and I've watched accounts with enormous followings of over 10,000 barely make a sale. Followers are a nice number to look at, but they're not the number that pays the bills. Customers are. Relationships are. Even more than that. I'd rather help someone build a real community than chase a bigger, emptier one. Please do not buy followers. That is a sure way of killing your reach. Once people hear that, They usually ask me, well, which platform they should actually be spending their time on. And that leads me into the next thing I wish people would stop saying, which is you have to be everywhere. You don't. Be visible enough on the major platforms that people can find you when they go looking for you. And then put the bulk of your real energy, your engagement, into one or two places where your actual audience shows up and engages. You don't need to learn every platform the week it launches. That's a full-time job in itself, my friends, and it is not the job you signed up for. Look, with our tool, Painless Posting, it will allow you to take one post and post it on up to 8 different platforms. But the posts are just one part of your strategy. Engagement is so critical. That's why I say post everywhere, because if you have Painless Posting, it's easy as posting to one place, post to 8. But engage in one or two platforms where your audience is. Another thing that I wish people would stop saying about social media is a phrase that sounds true on the surface, but really isn't. Social media is free. Technically, sure, there's no invoice, but strategically, you're still investing something every time you show up. Your time, your creativity, the mental energy it takes to figure out what to say. So if you're going to invest all of that, do it with purpose. Know why you're posting before you hit publish, not just because you feel like you're supposed to. There is one thing I wish people would stop saying about social media, and it actually breaks my heart just a little, because I've watched people delete perfectly good content over it. The idea that if a post didn't perform, it failed. I had a client tell me that she almost took down a post because it only got a handful of likes on the first day. 3 weeks later, someone messaged her saying that exact post was the reason they finally reached out. She almost deleted the thing that brought her a client. A post isn't worthless just because it didn't take off in 24 hours. Maybe someone saves it and comes back later to it. Maybe it becomes a seed for a podcast episode or 6 short videos down the road. Content has a much longer life than we give it credit for. Please, don't judge it too fast. You never know what is going to bring in your next client. And sometimes people look at your social media. Don't comment, don't like, don't share, don't save, don't repost. But they listen to you and they are watching you. They are following you because they're building trust with you. When it comes down to it, please, I want to encourage you to stop listening to the things that people are saying, all well-intentioned as they are, and start looking at your social media as a way to communicate with your people. None of this is really about keeping up with every trend or following every piece of advice you come across online. It's about building trust, showing up in a way you can actually sustain, and creating content that sounds like you and not like everybody else in your industry. The next time you hear that you have to post every day or chase virality or post individually on every single platform, take a breath and remember what you are actually trying to build and make the choice that fits your business instead of the one that fits the trend. If you want help figuring out how to manage your social media effectively and have the ability to repost content that you've already created to save yourself a whole lot of time, check out painlessposting.com. Painless Posting is a system designed to help you create content easy, fast, and resonates with your audience. It has a ton of AI features built right in, so you can go into one place and create your content and publish it all in one simple location. Check out our demo on painlessposting.com. If you have any questions and need some clarity on anything I've said in this episode or others, don't hesitate to reach out. I always love hearing from my listeners. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other business owners who need to hear it too. Until next time, keep your posting painless and your engagement powerful.